and welcome to Real Talk with Rachel. Today I'm talking about the scars you carry when you grow up in a low income household. My newest middle grade book, The Unforgettable Lita Lightning Laurel, features a main character who lives in a low income family. I use a lot of my experience having grown up in one. My character is targeted for her family's lack of money. She tries to help by not eating as much, but she's a runner and she's hungry all the time. That's something I tried as an eighth grader too. It wasn't the complete story of my full-blown eating disorder, which would unfold over the next several years, but it was a small piece of the beginning. When I was 11, my parents divorced. My mom was a single mom for several years after that, and was the equivalent of a single mom for several years before it. We went through some hard times. We didn't have a lot of money. I was on the reduced lunch program at my school. In those days, we paid with cash, so everybody knew who paid full price and who didn't. And there were assumptions made about the ones who didn't. Now, I want to make an important disclaimer that I am speaking of poverty from a white perspective, because that is what I lived. There are privileges to being white, but there are also some unique challenges to being white and poor. For one, white people are not very nice to their poor. I could feel that even as an 11-year-old. My mom had a deep sense of shame for needing extra help sometimes. This is partly because of the assumptions made about the poor. They're lazy, no good, don't have anything to offer, they're not smart, they don't deserve the same opportunities, they rely on welfare because it's easy. I picked up on these subtle messages as a kid. It's partly because when you're white and poor, you're making your people look bad. I was a very emotionally sensitive child, so the shame my mother felt became my shame. That's only one psychological piece to growing up in a low-income household. There are more. And it's worth saying that we're all different. Certain things mean more to some than others. For me, there were lasting effects. Scars I carry from that childhood. I have a fraught relationship with money. I worry about it constantly, even when times are good. I have an obsessive need to save for disasters in the future. I always feel like I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. I feel intense anxiety when the numbers don't add up, just like I felt intense anxiety as a kid when I watched my mother try to balance the numbers that didn't add up. Sometimes my brain completely shuts down when I'm trying to figure out the numbers. Especially right now, 2025, with increasing inflation that seems to have no end. And my brain spirals. If we can't even manage now, how will we in the future? A lot of mental energy is spent trying to figure out these hypotheticals, like when I was a kid. Maybe I can babysit, I thought, or sell my writing, or write someone's paper for money. I carry around stress and anxiety in my body. Whenever I make a frivolous purchase, a new book, some new pens for writing, eco-friendly deodorant or shampoo that's better for the environment and me but costs a little more, I feel guilty. Maybe one of the most damaging and persistent scars I carry is the one that tells me I don't belong. I carried it all through college, where most of the people I knew weren't scholarship and federal grant students. Their families had the money to pay for their educations. Texas State University and the federal government paid for mine. I carried this scar into my creative writing classes, where a fellow classmate said in an offhand remark that he didn't think poor people should be allowed to choose writing as their career because the government would have to support them. Writing, he said, should only be allowed for the independently wealthy. I carry this scar even today, when I'm around other, much more brilliant writers, and I think about how I don't have an Ivy League education, and I didn't have any connections at all, and I started from absolutely nothing, and how different I am than most of those around me. It can tell me a story, that I'm not good enough, that I don't belong, that I should just give all this up, because it's not meant for me anyway. That I don't write the right kind of stories, and probably never will, because I write the stories I know, which are stories of trauma and hardship and poverty and anxiety and depression and trying to make it without outside help because people who grow up poor don't have outside help, including therapists, because there's no money for it. But here's the thing. I do belong. I do deserve to dream big dreams and chase after those dreams with everything I have. I do deserve to tell my stories of hardship and trauma and poverty and anxiety and depression, and I do deserve to demand a place at the proverbial table because I have important things to say. Everyone does, no matter their income level, no matter how rich or poor or in between the extremes. No one can erase our stories unless we let them. The world needs to hear them, and I refuse to let the powerful erase my voice, erase me. I still carry all these scars, but little by little, story by story, they're getting a little less heavy. Thanks for listening to my Real Talk. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for videos about books and writing and more videos like this. And sign up for my newsletter at racheltolson.com for inspiration, book recommendations, news, and writing prompts. Stay strong, and see you next time.